Now in the 3/4 rear view, same discipline. It's basically, you gotta set up our box. There's a perspective. This is going off to a vanishing point here with a horizon line to it. All these lines are converging back here someplace, okay? Gotta set up our ellipses for our tire, because when you move it, it turns. And again, the center of this still lines up with an ellipse back here, okay? So let's go ahead and proceed. Let's see here. So we've got our just a little bigger. See, when you do this enough times, also you won't do the box anymore. You'll just know inherently. You'll learn just to put these tires where they need to go. So here's our rear tire. And remember those 5 spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 here. There's our front tire. Again, that's the center of the ellipse here. And that goes back with the same lines that converge back to that vanishing point, right? And then we'll put in the bottom of the vehicle. That's where the, and again, you can check the proportion of, again, using the tire. If we check that proportion of the tire, then the back of the car is almost the same distance as that ellipse. So if I did this, there's the back of the car. There's this iconic meaning, sort of this representation of the characteristic of, let's say, the brand, which is this nice, really neat sloping back. You have it's called the greenhouse in the industry, the top piece here, okay, where the glass is, but you can just call it the coupe. And it's about the center of the vehicle here. Let's see, let's finish the fenders. I think that helps set up the door location. Again, very light. You can see how far back I'm using on my pen. I'm not up in here. I'm actually back here, sort of like throwing it like almost like a brush. I'm just lightly putting in my details. My fenders. There's the door. And here's that A-pillar again. And here's that glass. That's this big radius glass. Again, this glass actually, you can tell it goes up and goes down this way. That's why there's just a radius right here. Usually, sometimes I bounce around a little bit on a sketch, but I try and put together, slowly build it up. There's our radiator. It's called a shroud up here where the engine is. You get this really interesting line, very much on the other cars that Voisin brothers did. This line that comes up, and they have these little vents here. Again, this area of the vehicle looks very much like the airplanes. Can't forget their mascot. Again, a larger line, a larger perspective, ellipse. The center here where the center knockoff cap is. The thickness of the fender. This is the other side over here. Sure, it comes down like this. This is the, we call this the, call it step board, I think. Basically, you could step on this as you got into the car. There's the dash. Again, all these lines converging. Make sure they're all consistently converging. And the European car, so the steering's on the other side. And we can kind of darken this in a little bit. And then through the windshield, you can actually see a little bit of the top of the cowl through here. Kind of connects it. You see all kinds of little reflections in here. There's actually sort of a cloud right there where the, you pick up the sky tone. So we just sort of knock this in just a little bit, just give a little bit of that contrast, make it look shiny. So you can create shiny shapes by having these reflective lines, red light spaces, and then maybe some darker areas where things are showing through. Okay. Tire in here. Again, large ellipse. Again, it's got to point this way. And we have a smaller ellipse. And we can make the bottom of the tire darker than the top. This is where the sun hits the top of the tire. Our knockoff center hub here. Again, the reflection, the bottom. So the sun hits it up here. That's a little darker at the bottom than the top. And just like our front view, we'll just put a couple of some light lines here. Again, all we're doing is indicating that it's two different colors. I would never take a pen and try and make it look black. It's a sketch. We have a reflection here, which is kind of interesting. So we can even darken that in just a little bit. Again, that reflection lets you know that this is a soft shape. So the section of that shape does something like this. And you can even put section lines in on the sketch to show what it's doing. Little detail here, the number plate, got a stop light, maybe here, a little bit of a trunk. Yeah, you can see there's a trunk line, and with a darker line around the outside, sets up the thickness of the tire here. Again, a sketch like this, I don't necessarily feel the need to put a shadow down because I think it looks nice just sort of floating there. But there's the principles. So you've got this this box proportionally in place. You've added the tires, the distance, and let's see. So basically on your page should look something like this, okay? And if you want to, you can go back in and actually start redrawing them and adding more cards in here. I always like to fill a page. But for our assignment today, I think this works really well. Okay, again, thank you and have a great day.